Hello, Rivermen and SPHL fans that are joining me. Welcome to the video, and as always, thank you for watching. So in this video, we're kind of going to go over the protected list that the Rivermen have put out. Put 13 skaters, or players, I should say, total on this protected list. And just because you don't see a name on this list does not mean you lost them. Like they're not coming back. Some players do give verbal commitments to, the teams, so that you don't waste a protected spot on them per se. So if you know for sure they're coming back, then, there's no need to protect them. That normally happens with leaders and people that are from the area, like that's their hometown, or captains. Like, you normally don't see them put on the list that often. So don't read too much into it just because the name's not on the list. And by the same token, just because a name is put on a protected list does not mean they're 100% coming back to play hockey for you. All that means is they are not playing SPHL hockey unless it's with you. They could still play in the Feds, they could play in the E, they could play overseas. It does not mean they have to play in the SPHL on your team just because they're protected. But yes, if they do play SPHL hockey, these players have their rights owned by the Rivermen. So quickly, we have Colby Muse, the only goalie that was protected by the Rivermen, and no shocker there. For the D, we got Brian Scoville, Brendan Rons, Michael Ferrandino, Josh Martin, and Ao Adanier. Great D people. Looking forward, if we can get all 5 of these guys back, that's a huge plus, especially players like Brendan Rons and Michael Ferrandino and Josh Martin and Ao. Really all of them showed mass potential and growth as they played game by game with the Rivermen. So I hope we see a vast majority or all of these players return to us. For forwards, you got Griffin Fox, Garrett Devine, Carson Baptiste, Michael McChesney, Zach Purcell, Fletcher Anderson, and Greg Smith. Greg Smith did not play with the Rivermen. He was in an ECHL team even through the playoffs, so he never seen any action with us, but he is a great player, so I can understand why he was protected by the Rivermen for sure. Now, some players that were left off of the protected list. You got Zach Wilkie, Jordan Ernst, Alec Bear, Tristan Trudell, Nick Latinovich, Jack Bosted, Braden Barker, Marco Jaklovich, Mike Gillette, Carlos Forneras, Andrew Poulias, Kyler Fenton, and Jacob King. Now, out of those names I read, and J.M. Piotrowski. And out of those names that I read, we know for sure now that Tristan Trudell has retired and is not rejoining the team or the league. J.M. Piotrowski is officially retired, and Zach Wilkie is officially retired from SPHL hockey as well. Again, that's so heartbreaking but expected with Zach Wilkie. Playing overseas, Jaklovich is going to go overseas and play there to start the year, and Jordan Ernst will most likely be joining them heading overseas to start the season. I know Jordan Ernst has stated if he plays SPHL hockey, the only place he's going to play is Peoria, so obviously there was no need to protect him. He is going to play, that's 110%, but he's just not going to start out with the Rivermen. He will be going over to Europe to play, which good for him. He deserves a payday, and he deserves that opportunity to really explore and expand his career. Great player MVP, Jordan Ernst, leading goal scorer So I am definitely happy for him. Like I said, left off the list and retiring with Wilkie, Trudell, and JMP. Again, these are the only confirmed people that are retiring and not returning. That's 100%. Obviously, these were huge contributors to the team. I still think Trudell had great promise. Obviously, he still has more in the tank. I mean, he's young enough that if he wanted to continue, he could for sure. I know a lot of emphasis this past season was put on his penalty minutes and fighting. He really established himself as an enforcer and tough guy, but I feel like he had more to offer, and that first season showed it. I do feel like he was a skilled player. He could have been a Mitch McPherson type, where he could still police the game and protect other players on the team, as well as contribute point-wise with assists and goals. He definitely had that Mitch McPherson quality to him and potential. And yes, it's kind of a shame we don't get to see him reach that potential. But again, good for him. He found something outside of hockey he could do for a living and be happy. So, there's nothing wrong with that. JMP, Atrowski, the same thing. We were lucky to get him back at all this year. Lucky for him, his job midway through the season gave him that opportunity to finish out with the Rivermen, but he will be moving on officially, and good for him. Again, a Rivermen legend, a champion with the Rivermen, and he will be missed by the fans, definitely a fan favorite. And of course, Zach Wilkie. I can't say enough good things about this guy. He's a Rivermen legend, to say the least. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time champion with the Rivermen, and just, like I said, a Rivermen legend. He definitely left his legacy with this organization, and I believe he left a legacy with SPHL hockey as well. If there was a Hockey Hall of Fame for the SPHL, Zach Wilkie would be first ballot. I don't think anybody in their right mind could dispute that. So he will be sorely missed by the Rivermen. Now again, other people left off the list that I do think will have a shot and you will see back with the Rivermen. Starting with our captain, Alec Bear. I do think he will return to the Rivermen, second year as captain. And I think that will be a key contribution to have his veteran leadership back to help this team grow and help the young guys understand and play Rivermen hockey better with a full season under their belt. So he is a key guy to have back, not just because of his production, but because of his leadership. Nick Latinovich, obviously a big name left off. He has stated multiple times he would like to come back for a full season with the Rivermen. It's the only team he will play for in the SPHL as well. He would probably retire after that, but he would like to come back for one more full season. So I look for him to come back. And, obviously Jack Boston was left off. I'm sure he'll get a camp invite. And if there's room for him on the roster, I would love to keep this guy, but he could be playing somewhere else in the SPHL and starting full-time. He's that good of a goalie. He's definitely a starter, and he can definitely play in the SPHL full-time. I would love to hold on to him, but if we have the option to go with Colby Muse and Nick Latinovich to start and finish the year, most likely, that's exactly what's going to happen. And, you don't roster 3 goalies for a full season. So it's a good problem to have, but I just hate the prospect of losing Jack Boston because was a great Riverman, and I loved watching him play. Braden Barker and Mike Gillette, they were left off, but again, they're not going to play anywhere but the Rivermen if they continue their career in the SPHL, and I do look for them to continue their career with the Rivermen, especially Braden Barker. I don't think he's going anywhere, and he's a fast-rising leader on the team. So I definitely look for Braden Barker to come back and return and be a leader, might even be an assistant captain. And same with Mike Gillette. If any of the two don't return, it would be Gillette because he would retire. But I see Gillette coming back, and I could see him being an alternative captain as well on the team. Two key players to have back. Carlos Forneres left off. He said he wanted to win a championship before he retired. He came to the Rivermen to win a championship. He's a playmaker, knows how to be successful, and he was a great addition to the Rivermen. Didn't win that championship, obviously, with us. I could see him coming back to give us one more season. I don't think he gives us another season beyond that, but I can see him coming back to give us one more season, and I would love to see that. Again, it's a candidate that could wear an A on their jersey, and it would be well-deserved. So, again, I would love to see him back. But some of the unknowns, Andrew Poulias, Kyler Fenton, Jacob King, these were guys that were late additions, college additions to the Rivermen that also made the playoff roster. Futures up in the air with them. I'd like to see them in the camp and a chance to make the Rivermen as well. I do believe these guys could play anywhere in the SPHL. But we'll see where it goes, who knows. But to the players that have officially been protected and most definitely, obviously, will get camp invites, like a Griffin Fox, like a Garrett Devine, Carson Baptiste, Michael McChesney. Those are great players to have. All can be centermen. We know Griffin Fox and Garrett Devine and Mike McChesney can play that role very well with Alec Bear. Zach Purcell, Fletcher Anderson, they showed great promise with the Rivermen, especially Zach Purcell. I'd love to see what he can do with the full season under his belt with the Rivermen, learning from Jean-Guy Trudel. And Greg Smith. Don't know if he'll start the year with us or again back up in an ECHL camp, but it would be cool to see Greg Smith in a Rivermen uniform. Same with the defenders, Brian Scoville, Brendan Rons, Michael Ferrandino, Josh Martin, Adonier. I know Adonier and Brendan Rons, they came from the ECHL. They started up there. Hopefully they come back to us for another season. I like the way they played and could really add some veteran leadership to this group. Josh Martin, just an outstanding defender, and he was gaining more confidence as the season was closing out, even starting to score goals. And I love the potential of what he can bring us. I think Josh Martin and Michael Ferrandino could be our top two defenders on the team. Defensive Player of the Year candidates. That's the praise I give those two. They're very key to our success on the defense, two players you want to see out there. So for the Rivermen's sake, I hope to see Josh Martin and Michael Ferrandino start the year with us. And like I said, great additions would be Brendan Rons, Brian Scoville, and Ayo Adonier. Adonier can really play that role too. He can help police the game and step in to protect teammates. And he just improved every game he played with us. I really liked how he came along and was really starting to look like a Riverman out there. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, that's who we got. That's who was on the list. I have a good feeling about next year. I'm cautiously optimistic, if you will. It's natural to be a little concerned, a little worried, especially losing talents like Jordan Ernst and J.M. Pietrowski, Wilkie, Trudel stepping down. It's natural to be a little concerned about that, but we got some great young talent coming, and I think under the leadership of Jean-Guy Trudel and Alec Bear and Braden Barker and like I said, Mike Gillette, Carlos Ferneres, if he comes back, they can really bring this young team along, and this team can get better as the season goes. maybe they get off to a slower start than Rivermen fans are used to. But as long as they're healthy and stick together, this team's only going to get better as the season goes. And those are obviously the keys. Staying healthy and staying together. We were plagued by injuries last year. Probably the worst plague season of injuries in SPHL Rivermen history. It was one injury after another, some being long-term, losing some key players for a month at a time. It really affected the Rivermen, and somehow they still managed to get first place because we have a Hall of Fame coach and we know how to get talent to come to Peoria. So, I am definitely optimistic on how this next season plays out for the Rivermen. Who knows what other new talent comes our way. But I am very hopeful indeed. And if we got Colby Muse and Nick Latinovich starting the year with us, that's already the best goalie tandem in the SPHL. So that's a great start. Having a leader like Alec Bear come back, another great start. So I am definitely optimistic and excited and looking forward to this upcoming season. With that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Again, thank you guys for watching. Catch you at the next puck drop, and I always keep it Rivermen style.